Can you hear me?
I just heard Steve, but that's the only thing I've heard.
Yeah, I could hear Jason, but I can't hear anything else.
I figure we're waiting for the meeting to start still.
All right, can you guys hear us now?
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now we're working. Keep it down here.
Now we can, okay. Thank you.
So I have to do this again?
Yes.
Yeah, just start from the minutes. You can just do that.
Start from minutes, okay. Okay, is there any discussion or changes to the minutes of October 17th Planning Commission? If not, I'll entertain a motion and a second on the minutes as written.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
Do I have a second?
I'll make a second to that motion.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mark and a second by Lance to approve the minutes of October 17th. All in favor, say aye.
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 The motion has passed unanimously. Okay. We just move into the public hearing now, right? Okay, the public hearing for the accessory dwelling unit ordinance was opened October 17th and will continue tonight. We'll turn the time over to Jake to discuss the changes made since the last meeting.
Thank you. Teresa, can you give me screen sharing permission? Okay, I'm gonna pull up my doc here that'll show some of the changes from last time. Okay, there we go. I'm not gonna go through every change, but just through some of the major ones. I did add a whereas talking about provide housing flexibility and affordability options. In terms of the lot size, it's applicable to equal to 6,000 and greater. Before we had it conflicting as both, and so I found that, and so we cleaned that up. So anything 6,000 or greater, and that's per state code. Remove the sentence on requiring fully enclosed, just because a home already is, so it was unnecessary. This was also unnecessary, classifying internal ADUs and attached ADUs as the same. And there is some slight differences. And when people do an application, they'll mark, is it an internal ADU? Is it home AD? Is it an addition? And if it's addition, they need to have building plans. And if it's a detached, they'll need to have building plans as well. And that was this clarification. We talked about the need. So if someone's doing an internal ADU, it should be a very streamlined, simple process. And that'll be through the application. And this is what they're going to have to provide. Essentially a home building plan, kind of just a layout. And then there'll be inspections by the inspector, by Rowan. And then and attached will have to do building plans, and a detached also building plans. And then everyone will have to show parking. And then a sensitive lands does not apply if it's an internal ADU. The home is already built. We should not touch it or think about it.
I got a question on the parking.
Yes.
If the city issues a permit, I guess that's how we're gonna do it. And it's okay, yeah, you can do that. And then it conflicts with the parking.
I mean,
does
they
that
don't
make-
have enough parking.
Yeah,
Well, enough parking is whatever your home is required, just two, for your home as is without the ADU plus one.
oh, okay.
And they need to show that. This section, adding internal applies as well. We had a discussion about we no more than one family can rent an ADU, and then it was, well, what does that mean? That's where I added the state code reference. And then some clarification on what they'll have to provide if it's a detached ADU. Build on a foundation, and then also, well, we already had elevations in there. And this was unnecessary, the mailing, that was a duplication in terms of a written notice. And then this last part on existing buildings, it was unnecessary. I mean, and if someone already has a home that they want to convert into an ADU, an internal ADU, then it's an IADU, and we have a process for that. So that is it in terms of changes. Just a reminder, if there's anybody new watching this or reading minutes or listening in, it's a process we've been working on for more than a year now. Not completely nonstop. We did take a break and did the MRO ordinance and other things, but we did start this a year ago. Questions from the Planning Commission? Comments?
Well, I think the public should be very happy with your statement in under purpose. I mean, we're doing this to help them. And I think that's an important aspect of this whole thing.
Because this is the reality that we're facing. It's gonna be more and more. Everyone's saying it, so yeah. Specifying, it'll take a lot of pressure off of the staff here too. You know,
Yeah.
so no, this is a good thing.
And with new development, almost all builders now are having an ADU option with their homes, you know. I've seen plans for a Cache Valley builder that the third car garage is either a third car garage or an ADU. And it's not just putting an ADU in the garage, it's actually designed and built that way, and it's nice. And one of the cool things about that is that actually there's now a separation there. So, you know, everybody has different privacy levels. And if you don't want to be hearing your renter or your extended family member, whoever that is in the ADU, then you have a garage in between you and the ADU. And so that's kind of a cool option. There.
Mr. Chair,
Jason had it.
Jason has.
Oh. Jason?
Yeah, I think the ADU, what we've been working on here is a great thing. I was just recently reading some information about, you know, the whole spirit of what's going on here is affordability and increasing population. And what I was reading about was the legislature's research they did about future growth and land availability and things like that. What it was basically saying was, in the legislature's research, we're still in a housing shortage. We need to build 28,000 homes a year. And the way that the land is currently zoned, in 20 years, we won't have enough places to live. And so what they were forecasting was like enforcing even tighter rules on zoning, enforcing cities and governing bodies to what they call upzone. And so we've done a great job of responding to these type of challenges, but as far as everything I can see, it's going to get even worse. It's going to get more heavy-handed from the lawmakers to increase density, whether we like it or not. And so, you know, I think the writing's on the wall. We're going to run out of land, you know, maybe not in our lives, but density's going to change a lot. And I think this does a good job of I think we've in several ways done a great job this year with the master plan and this type of activity to, you know, support kind of what we hear is coming. So commend you guys on that.
Thanks, Jason. You know, I got a comment. I see a lot of young people in my business, and I hear comments all the time. Well, we don't know if we can get married because we don't have anywhere to live. And I've never heard that in the 40 years I've done that, but I have young people come in all the time and they literally don't know what they're going to do. And they're afraid of getting married because they literally don't have anywhere that they're going to be able to start a family and stuff. And so, yeah, this is a good thing to do it organized the way we're doing, because it's a bigger deal than just having an extra unit off your house. It's somebody's going to start a family and stuff there. So, yeah, this is a good thing.
And if they can afford to get in a home and have an ADU to rent, they could live in the ADU and rent out the rest of the house.
Yeah, for sure.
I see lots of first-time home buyers and second-time home buyers, and almost every single one of them is interested in the ADU in their house. I was talking to a guy today that bought a lot down in Mountain Green. He got an acre with a bit of it on his hill, and he's going to be able to build on half acre. And he's going to build a, 3,300, 3,400 square foot home, Rambler with a ADU in the basement. And I was asking him how much he's expecting his house payment to be, and he told me his house payment's forecast to be $7,500.
Whoa. It's not a starter home.
Not really. Do we have any public with us? Does anybody jump in on Zoom or anything? Okay, I just wanted to check. Do we have anything else?
So you want to go ahead and close the public hearing?
Oh, okay. You have a motion to close the public hearing?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing.
Do I get a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion to close the public hearing and a second. Do we have to take a vote on that? Okay, all in favor? Say aye. Jason, okay, so we have unanimous to close the public hearing. Okay. So Jake, you've done your stuff. Okay. If the commission's ready at this time to make a recommendation to the city council, I'll entertain a motion on this subject.
I think I can do that, hereby make a motion to make a positive recommendation to the city councilors in regards to the accessory dwelling unit ordinance.
Gonna get a second on that?
I'll second that.
Thanks, Aaron. So we have a motion to give a recommendation to the city council to for them to accept the accessory dwelling unit as been laid out. We have a motion by Jay and a second by Aaron.
Aaron.
Aaron, yeah. Okay. So all in favor? Say aye. Aye. Any opposed? So the motion has passed to move this on to our city council.
Great, good work, everyone.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Chair, we just have some business to do before we close the
Yeah,
meeting.
one more item of business. Today we received from our general plan consultant an update to the general plan. Teresa's gonna forward this over to you tonight. And so you'll have that. And in December, we're gonna meet and we would hope that everyone could look through this general plan document before. December will be final discussion meeting. And if the planning commission is okay, in January, we'll do an open house and a public hearing. And then the planning commission can decide if it's ready to make a recommendation to city council.
Are they pushing that out to the public so we can get some people?
Yeah, so we'll do some advertisement or whatever we can to let them know about the open house. And then
Okay.
we'll do the open house and meeting probably the same day in January.
Yeah, at 5 o'clock, maybe 5 to 7 will be an open house here. Have some posters up, discussion. It'd be good if you're available to come and talk to the public, questions.
You put that on a new electronic sign we got out here.
Yeah, we'll do it that way. We'll try to figure out a way we can get it out to the public. There's some steering committees that were originally on this a few years ago, so hopefully we can get them involved and stuff like that, but we'll get out some advertisement and hopefully we have some public that'll come.
If you can send me what information you have over at the library too, we'll circulate that with our patrons.
Great.
That'll great. And I think we talked about that we'll use the hall to put posters and things like that. It'll show the maps are usually the best thing to look at and stuff, and then have where staff and planning commission can answer any questions if people have any, and then we can then in our planning commission meeting, do the public hearing. So we have public comments on record.
It's exciting. That's good.
Yep, we'll get that done.
So, yeah, go ahead. Got 2 minutes left. That's awesome. Well, done with this?
Yep.
Okay, let's adjourn this meeting, folks.
Good job, Jake.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your work.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Cool,
thanks,
we-
Jake.
ADU ordinance now at city council, bring it all.